Okay, congratulations for making it to the last example for tonight's homework. Awesome of you to stick with it. As I read this now, I realize I may have spelled x-intercepts wrong. So let's go ahead and clean that mess up. We are not looking for the intercepts. We are just looking for the x-intercepts. All right. Of f of x equals x squared minus 9x plus 18. Okay. To find x-intercepts, the first thing we need to do is factor. So let's set up our diamond. Let's look at our a values. We've got a equals 1. We have b equals negative 9. And then we have c equals positive 18. So in our diamond, we need a times c, which is 18. And then b is for bottom, so that's negative 9. We need two values, right? They need to add down. They need to multiply up. So, 9 times 2? That's not going to work. 6 times 3? Close. 6 plus 3 would be 9. Let's just make those negative. Negative times negative is positive. Negative plus negative is negative. So our diamond values are good. And because a equals 1, that lets us know that whatever the solution to our diamond is also the two values we can use in the factored form. So x minus 6, x minus 3 is the factored form of this quadratic. Now to find the x-intercepts, what we do is we take our function and we set it equal to 0. So we set this equal to 0. And now because we're factoring, we can use what's called the zero product principle. If you have something times something, and 0 is the total, what that means is one of these two terms has to be 0. Right? You cannot have a number times another number equals 0. Right? If these multiply together to be 0, one of them mathematically has to be 0. So that's why we factor. It's to set up the multiplication so that we can use this what's called zero product principle. So we factored, we got x minus 6, x minus 3 equals 0. So that means our two solutions come from the following. Either x minus 6 equals 0, or x minus 3 equals 0. If x minus 6 equals 0, we know x equals 6. If x minus 3 equals 0, we know x equals 3. And we're good to go. So when we find x-intercepts for quadratics, the big first step is factoring them. Once it's factored, you take each factor, x minus 6 equals 0 and solve. X minus 3 equals 0 and solve for x, and you're done. All right, done with the homework. Well, at least you're done as soon as you go back and do the actual example in number 5. Its diamond values, you should be able to find them pretty easily. I think 1 is the coefficient for a, so you can take that shortcut where you just jump right to the end and then set up your two equations equal to 0 and solve. All right, good job.